Hello, how are you doing? Thanks for joining me again. Hope you're well. I'm out and about today. Just thought I'd have a little break and have a wander. So this is going to be a bit of a chatty video rather than a doing video. I've got my old camera with me. It's on its last legs. The back screen's gone now, as well as many of the dials, but I still love it and I will still be using it. If I get some shots, that will be brilliant. That will mean that it's been a successful trip out. It doesn't matter about the camera. And it's kind of what I'm going to be talking about today, which is that success. What is success as a photographer in life? Success of a photograph itself. What does that mean? I think it's a very personal thing, and it's come out of, the thinking has come out because of that January photo project that I have just finished. But I finished it early, didn't I? I didn't actually see it all the way through to that last day. So some people would say that was not a success. But for me, it got me out and about, it got me doing what I wanted to do. It got those juices flowing, and I got some pictures that I wouldn't have got otherwise. So it was a success. So that's what I kind of want to talk about, is that success is very much what you make of it. But there are some bits and bobs that are more structured than that, things that you might want to think about that will actually help produce more success and make you feel like you have been more of a success in doing the things that you love. So the success of this video for me is going to be how many jump cuts there are in it, because I'm going to try and make it just me chatting, but I'm near a scrapyard and there is a van over there that's just about to start its engine. So I think we better walk on, because otherwise I'm going to have to keep cutting because you're not going to be able to hear what I'm saying. So let us pick up the camera and walk with me. And we'll talk as we walk, and I'll try not to get run over. I've also put some notes down on my phone so that when I get stuck I can remind myself what I'm talking about, because it's so easy. I don't script this. I don't really know what I'm going to say until I say it. It comes from the heart as much as the head. So success, what does that mean? I think success is an ever-changing thing. What I regarded as success when I was starting out as a photographer is very different from what I think success is now. And I think that what I think success will be in the future is going to be very different again. So it's really sensible not to limit your definition of what success is. When I was starting out as a photographer, I thought success would be getting an exhibition. I got an exhibition. It was well received and I still didn't feel like a success. Then I thought, it's having your work in a magazine, in a newspaper. I did that, still didn't feel like a success. Then I thought, well, you know, I've always really wanted my photograph on an album cover. My photographs have appeared on album and singles covers. That to me did feel like a success, but because those artists, great though they are, have not got the commercial success of Arctic Monkeys, Oasis, all those guys, not many people have seen those album covers and those singles covers that I've done. So I don't feel enough of a success with that. So I'm still striving for success. At the moment it's, can I get 1,000 subscribers to this channel? That will feel like success. It's a goal. You've got to set yourself goals, and those will give you a sense of success. But know that whenever you achieve those goals, the chances are that they will shift and success will become something else, because you change, your goals change, and if you're anything like me, you'll never be satisfied. But you can aim to create great work, and I think maybe that is the final definition of success. It's not where something is shown, it's not how many people it pleases, although those things are really, really important. And again, as I was saying, success comes from within. So you need to feel like a success, but there might be success even without you feeling it. But does that matter? Because at the end of the day, we're trying to make ourselves happy with what we do. So somebody who's completely lacking in any insight and thinks they're brilliant when they're not, and thinks they're a success, is probably actually to themselves more a success than somebody who's forever doubting themselves, and they might be a genius, but they never knew it. So they'll never feel like a success. And since the end result was to be a success, they're not a success. Does that make any sense, or is that just gobbledygook? I hope it makes some sort of sense. What I'm trying to say is be happy with what you do, strive for the best you can do, but don't sweat it if you don't get it. Just getting out there, which is what I did in January, is enough to be a success in some terms. So that's a little bit about success on a personal level, and I'll talk a little bit more about that if I have time afterwards. But what about success of a photograph? Because we are photographers, and for us to be successful, our photographs have to be successful. Again, that's in our own terms. We shouldn't be hamstrung by thinking we've got to do what everybody else does and it's only successful if somebody else tells us it is. But obviously, it's a method of communication. A photograph is a way to communicate, and if we haven't communicated in a way, we haven't been successful. Our photograph hasn't been successful. So I think there are 5 or 6 things that you should look for in a successful photograph. The first is that it should be technically as good as it can be with the equipment that you're using. You can't expect to get the same result with a £5 million camera as you would get with a £5 camera, but you can get the best result you can get with the equipment, and I think that is a measure of success, technical ability. The other thing is whether the image creates a connection with the viewer, and that I think is the central thing, isn't it? If it doesn't connect with the person who's looking at it, it's not really succeeded. That person might just be you. You might be the only person that gets to see the photograph and it connects with you. But again, I think as photographers, we want to communicate with other people as well as make records for ourselves. And so I'm talking about that. So I think you need to be able to connect with the viewer. I think a photograph to be successful, it should be arresting, even if it's not beautiful. I don't think a photograph has to be beautiful. I think it's nice if a photograph's beautiful. It's nice if it's something that somebody would want to hang on their wall. But there are incredible photographs which are not beautiful and which you would not want to hang on your wall, at home certainly. And they are successful, but there has to be something arresting about it. And connected with that, there has to be something about it that's memorable. If the photograph's instantly forgettable, I don't think it's probably been a success. The other thing I would say about a photograph to be successful is that it can't just be a copy of something that's been done already. It's certainly important to work within the genre, to know your touchstones, your famous photographers, and to use their work to guide you and to give you a look that is maybe similar to theirs. But you need to be taking it forward. Obviously, every moment is different, so every photograph is going to be different. You would struggle to actually reproduce exactly somebody else's work, but what I mean is it needs to be significantly different enough to have merit in itself. Again, these are very personal ideas of success, and you may well disagree with them, and I would be really interested in hearing your comments and your analysis of what I've said, if you think I'm just talking rubbish. And you know, I do like to hear opposing views because I change mine according to other people's. You know, I'm not a fixed person, and I'm opinionated, but my opinions change based on the facts, which I think is one of those things which is a different topic of conversation, but it's that thing. You should always change your opinions to match the facts, not your facts to match your opinions. So yeah, please do get in touch with me in the comment section if possible, and let me know, what do you think makes a successful photograph? Is a successful photograph one that gets shown in a gallery? Is a successful photograph one that makes the photographer lots of money? I mean, that is another mark of success. You know, I would love to make some proper money out of my photography, but I don't regard that as being intrinsic to the success. And I guess, again, that's part of this thing about being able to do photography as a career, as a lifetime's pursuit. If it was all just about making the money, I could get to a certain amount and then stop. If I just said, well, it's got to be in a magazine, I could get the first one in a magazine and then I could stop. But I want to keep doing it, and so I have to keep moving my idea of success. And I suppose the final part of success is legacy. It's that in years after your death, people are still looking at that photograph, people are still influenced by that photograph, because that is really, 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 really important. There were lots of reallys there because somebody was walking past me and I just wanted to cover that. So there is success. I haven't had to do a cut yet, have I? Actually, I might have to, because this wind is getting up now and you probably can't hear me. I hope you can. But anyway, success is what you think of it. But that doesn't mean that you have to ignore what other people think, because arrogance in photography is not really what we need either. You want to have confidence, you want to have vision, you want to show the world the way that you see it. That is a critical part of photography. But when you start to think that you know everything and you ignore the opinions of others, I think your success will dwindle. Because at the end of the day, a lot of my thinking is about success as a human being. And I think that's intrinsic as well, because there are lots of people who have made their career by being advocates for other people, and they are able to do work which some people might say is distasteful because they are doing it for a use. You know, it's that thing about, I certainly have a problem with people taking photographs of people who are vulnerable, and you know, I don't take pictures of homeless people, don't take pictures of mentally ill people, and you know, that sort of thing, unless I'm doing it for the greater good. You know, I've done work for charities where I've been in and I've taken pictures at various places to promote those charities, to help those people, or as a journalist to show something that needs to be shown. But I don't show that on my websites, on my Instagrams and things, because that would just be publicising myself, and that is not what I want to do. So success as a photographer, I think, is also being a successful human being. You've got to be able to relate to people, to be able to engage your perception of the world with theirs, even if you don't share their views. Because if you don't do that, then what's the point? Otherwise, you're just doing it for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with doing it for yourself, but that's not my mark of success. So it's probably very preachy, very ranty, and I apologise for that. But hopefully it's useful. Hopefully it gives you something to think about. It is, as I say, just my view. I don't think it's only my view. I think other people share it. But it is just one voice in millions and millions of voices. And that is the thing about creating a successful photograph. Why would my one photograph be successful more than all the millions of other photographs that have been taken? I don't know. But I'm going to take this battered old camera, which I love to bits, and I'm going to try and get some more photographs that I will be proud of and that will make me feel like I have been a success, at least today. And I will keep looking for ways to feel like a success. I will keep trying to find ways to make other people think I'm a success, but I'm not going to sweat that bit too much. And I hope that you will take some of that approach, because I think it might make your life a little bit better. I hope so. If you think so, if this video has made your life this tiny little bit better, or at least not significantly worse, please do drop me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, share it with your friends. I will be back with more practical stuff. Got trips planned, I've got experiments planned, but this is just a little ranty preachy one to say that just because I didn't finish that January photo project, it was still a success. It did what I set out to do, and that's all you can ask for at the end of the day. Take care of yourselves, enjoy what you're shooting. Bye for now.